I want to make another video about the comments that Donald Trump made in Iowa about poor people, whatever he classifies as poor, not really being able to hold certain positions because he only wants the wealthy people to hold those positions because wealthy people have proven success by making wealth, generating wealth, having wealth. And so those people get to hold the economic positions in government and not the poor people. And I want to make a comment about this because this is so obnoxious considering how this guy got his wealth. And I want to make it in context or in reference to a certain video I watched some time ago. And the video it took place during the time when Donald Trump was running for the presidency, and he was trying to win the black vote. So what his argument was, which is always simplistic argument, is that what do you have to lose? I mean, your neighborhoods are falling apart, your schools are falling apart. The Democrats have done nothing for you. Why not vote for me? I can be better than what they've done. I mean, I don't have to try very hard to do that. That was his argument. And this young lady made a video, and it was a pretty interesting video because what she had said kind of stuck with me, and always has stuck with me, is that her community, the people in her community, have never received an inheritance. And when I thought about that, it really made a lot of sense to me because when people come over to another country, are forced to another country, they don't have any support system. They come over to this country, they don't have a support system, and then as the support system is obviously in this country become a state government system that's supported people, so that's a support system. So when you don't have that support system, you never receive an inheritance. And you never get an inheritance from other people or other family members or even your community. And that's so true. So what she was saying is that we've never received an inheritance. And that always stuck with me in context to what Donald Trump said the other day, because here's a man who really, all he's ever gotten is inheritances. All he's ever received is money from I think his father's, his family is giving him tremendous wealth. And for a guy to sit there and because of that, in a position that he is in life, to be able to look down at other people and say that they just aren't as successful as he is because he or other people have gotten wealth and they're more successful and they deserve, is more of a class system, and a class system Donald Trump loves. If anything, Donald Trump is so into the system that he has prospered from, which is the system of being wealthy, continuing to be wealthy, almost like a king and queen. They're in a position where they just pass down the wealth to other people and they control it. I mean, I'm all in favor of that. I'm not in favor of taxing people and taking their wealth away, but I'm in favor of making sure everybody gets something, an inheritance, or gets something of worth by a support system or a family or something like that. And that's how people prosper. They don't prosper by not having a support system. And anyway, for a guy that said nothing but a huge support system, how contradicting to say something so demeaning about people that haven't had that support system or haven't had the God-given luck of having support and wealth that Donald Trump has had. So how insincere, how obnoxious, how condescending, how belittling, how hateful to say that about people, that they just aren't successful because they haven't earned money or haven't made a lot of money. So I want to make this video to point that out. And I also want to illustrate it with a story that I heard, probably one of the best business stories I've ever heard, ever. And I deal with a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses. I hear a lot of stories, but this is probably one of the best stories I've ever heard. And it's a family that owns a funeral home in a big major U.S. city. And I was talking to the grandson one day, and the grandson was talking about his grandfather who started this business of funeral service. And the reason he started the funeral service is because a lot of people in the community of which they lived were black. And when they passed away, there was no place, nobody would bury them because they didn't have any money. So this guy would do it. I mean, he built a business out of burying people with very little money or no money at all. And he would kind of like help them out. And then, as he grew and he started to prosper a little bit, he's making money and whatnot, so on and so forth. What he did is he tried to, these people that had supported him to build his business that didn't have any money or paid him very little bit of money, that he was very efficient and built the business that way. He wanted to give back to him. He started to prosper a little bit, so he wanted to give back to the community. So even after he had made money by working hard, being frugal, and getting business by helping other people out and being prosperous, he gave back to the same community. And even though he had made money, he lost it all because he had given back to that community, trying to support the community that he is trying to help. And that's kind of what happens when you don't have this support system in place. Businesses like this, but the good part of the story is they did end up getting through it and prospering, and now they're a very, very successful business. In fact, if I mention the name of the business, you'd know who it is, because especially if you live in that part of the country, because it's a huge business. But the guy built the business by trying to help others and helping others by doing that, and by developing and building a support system for his community. So that's the issue here. The issue is Donald Trump looks down on people that really haven't had the benefit that he's had. And he really looks down on people that he believes are less than him or inferior to him, or they don't have the the intellect that he does. All the guy does is brag about himself. But his only claim to fame is the fact that he's inherited a lot of money. And based on how much, I don't know. It seems to me like, from what I hear, it's probably in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I know he disputes that and says he only got a small loan from his dad of very little money. I think $1 million, but still, that's a lot of money. But the guy's done nothing but prospered from somebody else's, good fortune. And now for him to turn around and look at other people and belittle them for not having the same support system really is obnoxious, and it's very condescending, and it's very contradicting too. So anyway, I just want to make that video because those comments are about as insulting as it gets. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you.